How's it going, everyone? T-Gash here. Welcome back to my channel where it's all horror all the time, and welcome to episode 6 of Vampyr, which I had to quit rather abruptly last night, in the sense that I couldn't take the time to go out of my way and formally, quote-unquote, safe at a hideout. So I figured, what the heck, let's just keep the thing running and jump right back in where we were. So, if I remember correctly, we just met the local bully slash extortionist of this district. Still need to find a way into Darius Petrescu's house, which shouldn't be too far off. So last night we found ourselves some leverage in a torn up letter. I'm just wondering if there's a bit more stealthy and or creative way to go about things. Already eavesdropped here once, but who knows? Nah, looks like that's not gonna work a second time. So, what kind of information and or dirt do we have on this guy anyway? Let me see. Where's our guy? There we are. So, Darius is the right arm of Dorothy Crane. Darius is a former Romanian political activist. And also, Darius does not want to see his children anymore to avoid being a burden to them. Also, not doing so good health-wise. Maybe we can try and bribe him with medicine. Just thinking out loud here.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again? Go away.
Mesmerize level. Not high enough just yet.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your words have conviction. All right, I'll let you see, Dorothea. Don't make me regret this, though.
All right. Let's try and take care of our guy here. Establish a bit of goodwill, maybe.
If you want to talk to Dorothea, you must go across the courtyard and take the stairs.
We've not been formally introduced. May I ask your name and occupation, sir?
I am Darius Petrescu. I'm here to keep snitches and spies away from Dorothea. And I also run this little print shop.
Do you need some help, Mr. Petrescu?
I am very tired, but that is all. I don't need you, Doctor.
Well, yeah, obviously, he's got Dorothea backing him up there. What was I thinking? But on the other hand, looks like she's not doing her job very well.
Well, I think you do. Take this, and you'll feel better.
Free drugs from an English doctor. It must be my lucky day.
So Dorothy's real name is not Crane.
Like myself and many people in this area, Dorothea is from occupied Romania. That's all you need to know.
She seems important to the community.
More than you can imagine. The West End does not want to hear of Whitechapel's misery. Dorothea is one of the few doing something about it.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to give out our medical leaflets.
Are you not worried for her safety?
She is as brave as she is tough, and clever, too. If only I had met her when I was younger.
Are you in love with Camellia, Mr. Petrescu?
Don't be stupid. If I had met her when I was younger, we could have won our revolution.
Who is she, really? Do you know where she's from?
She's not from around here, that's all we know. Camellia is not even her name. It's her favorite flower.
You say she has no close family.
Well, there's that awful poet who constantly follows her around like a lost puppy. A good man for sure, but a very poor writer.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife.
Blah, blah, blah. I'm pretty sure that's tell me more, but...
Do you have any family left, Mr. Petrescu? Children or grandchildren?
Who knows? I have abandoned my people for so long, they might as well be dead. As dead as I am for them, I suppose.
But that's not entirely true now, is it?
Don't be embarrassed, sir. If you must know, my own father disappeared many years ago, and I forgave him.
It's quite awkward to talk about our families like this, but thank you, Dr. Reed. I appreciate your trust.
This war won't last forever. Did you ever think of returning to your country now it's free?
No. I have taught strength and determination to my sons and daughters. I'm an old, dying man who only has memories of better times to cherish.
I know you fought for your country when it was occupied, Darius. Tell me more about it.
I know my days are numbered, and I know I won't see my homeland again. But I fought for Romania all my life, and I will until my last breath.
But Romania escaped the grasp of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It's a free country again.
But it's not the country I fought for. My homeland is not appeased, Doctor. And I still see a dark future ahead for my people.
How did you meet Nurse Crane, Darius? Why does she trust you?
I'm her oldest friend in England. Dorothea and I share many ideas about this country and about the country we left.
You mean occupied Romania, don't you? Even if not directly, I fought against your enemies.
Really? Then perhaps you have more in common with Dorothea than meets the eye, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Mr. Petrescu.
Alright, so, quick recap. I've lost the trail of Nurse Dorothy Crane after a meeting with some shady gang member. Luckily, I found a useful hint on the man's corpse after some frenzied skulls murdered him. Some sort of coupon for a free medical exam in Whitechapel. The flyer is written in English and Romanian. The owners of the voucher are invited to find one Darius Petrescu's house and ask for Dorothea. Are this Dorothea and Dorothy Crane the same person? Is she the author of the blackmail letter sent to Lady Ashbury? I think I'd better go to Whitechapel as soon as possible to get all the needed answers from the nurse, if I can find her there. She doesn't seem so bad, from what we've learned so far. I messed up, didn't I?
Hello, Mr. Petrescu.
Hello, Dr. Reed. Come on in.
So where's she at then, if I can't pick her up with my vampiric senses while inside? Maybe I'm supposed to take the whole underground dispensary thing more literally than I first thought. The antique figure of the Vrikolakas. Pretty sure that's like an existing word. A copy of an article addressed to the brothers of St. Paul Stoll. Of my many journeys, I believe I was the most amazed by my exploration of the Mediterranean Isles, and particularly the island of Santorini, searching for traces of vampire presence in these sunburned lands. Herodotus himself refers to the island in his fourth book, and I'm personally convinced that there are many mysteries to be unveiled in this part of the world. Who knows that even today, the island of Santorini is still considered by some as the most vampire-infested place in the world, way more than the Carpathians, and that its inhabitants are considered as specialists of the vampire hunt, or the hunt for Vrikolakas, as they call this creature. According to the local myths, the Vrikolakas is a dead person who does not decay, and who can show a vermilion complexion as long as he is gorged with fresh blood. He cannot enter a house without knocking and getting a response. Garlic makes him flee. He does not consume under the sun, but his skin blackens. He can turn into a wolf and other animals. What struck me the most is that the same name exists, with small variations, from Mediterranean Sea to the Balkans. The Greeks call him the Vrikolakas, the Bulgarians and the Macedonians name him Varkolak, or Varkolak, the Serbians call him Vukutlak. Yes, Vukutlak, a name so similar to the Volkot we already know, my dear brothers. Just to write the few words now gives me the shivers. I'm personally convinced that we are here confronted to some of proto-vampire. Maybe they are a missing link between the modern vampires and the creatures that came before them. If God allows me enough time, I wish one day to go back to the Santorini island and find the trail of this antique and forgotten figure. From Drinking at the Fountain of Knowledge by Usher Taltree, Primate of St. Paul. Vukutlak, that rings a bell. I'm pretty sure that's a Vampire the Masquerade thing right there. Or actually an already existing folkloric term, but I'm just trying to say I've seen it before. Brownie points or something. I don't know. Anyway. Now how am I supposed to know which door leads me further into the building? And which one brings me even further away from where I want to be?
Hello, Mr. Petrescu.
Hello, Dr. Reed. Come on in.
Come on, guys. No need for a cutscene every time, is there? Alright, I'm really starting to doubt my intellectual capacity here. Pretty sure she was right here. Last time I eavesdropped at the gate. Here we go then.
Give me a drink! Rafa, can you hear my voice?
Letter to Nurse Crane, London, 31st of October. My dear Dorothea, when you read this letter, I will be on the boat that will take Anton and me back to Brasov. England was not for us, and I confess I cannot wait to see again the proud hills of Transylvania. As soon as we are there, I promise I'll light a candle in the Black Church and pray for you to survive this terrible epidemic. Did I just say academic? I think you know what I'm getting at. I know that you do not agree with this decision, and that you are determined to be more useful by helping our comrades exiled in the East End. But Anton cannot wait to return to our beloved country and see our long-awaited revolution bloom. He's my husband. I will stay by his side. I know we had our arguments and our fights. I know you would have wanted me to stand by your side and help you manage this clinic of yours. But now that I'm leaving England, be assured that if anything would happen to you, if you ever were in great trouble or danger, I would come back immediately to London, with or without Anton. Please think of me as much as I think of you. I am your affectionate sister, Theodora. Now, before I head upstairs, let me see what other reading material I may have missed out on. Not feeling too good about raiding a medical dispensary when there's no urgent need of it. Alright, I'm on my way.
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Raz Van Vasily, high fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain, diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort, liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Thank you, nurse. Anything else I should know?
He did lose consciousness this morning, but he's never had convulsions like these.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
Tracheectomy
do,
coming up
Doctor?
in 3, 2, 1. Ha! Told you.
It's too dangerous to operate with these convulsions. Sedative, nurse. Do we have any anesthetics?
I'm sorry, Doctor, none at all.
Oh well, I did ask.
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor.
Ectomy, ostomy, you say tomato, I say
He's breathing
tomato.
again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy. Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
You're in a septic environment.
Right then, Nurse Crane. What do you suggest we do?
I've no idea. I'm not the doctor.
Time is of the essence. We need to perform a thoracic drain.
Yes, Doctor. He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see. I must first suture the artery. Find the wound. The source of the blood.
Needle and thread, Doctor.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor.
Well, shit. I don't know what an epinephrine is.
Cardiac massage, now.
Cardiac... What? Are you making this up as you go along? We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Nurse, we did everything we could.
Truly? Everything you could. Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
I doubt you're here to test my bedside manners.
What have we here then? A blood sample gathered on Razvan's corpse. Now see, I'm wondering if this could have gone any other way, like if I would have been able to save the guy by making different choices whilst in the thick of things, or if this was like a predetermined outcome to establish a certain connection between these two characters.
To what do I owe this courtesy?
Well, now that you mention it,
I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
Boomer, hey dude, how you doing? Yeah, good game to play. I'm kind of on the fence, truth be told. It is atmospheric F, no doubt about it. I'm liking the whole dialogue and voice interaction and social interweavedness they've got going on here, if that's even a word. But combat, man, oof. I like to think it's not just me, but yeah, you can make up your own mind as I go along.
Your heart might be in the right place, but you can't carry on with this blackmail. For God's sake, Dorothy, it's extortion. It's a serious crime.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
But why Lady Ashbury? Why her, of all people?
She's pristine and proper, all right. But that she-wolf in sheep's clothing murders the poor for sport. I have her where she belongs, and I'll milk her for all she's got.
Hang on, murdered the poor for sport. I'm gonna need a bit more clarification on that one.
Dr. Swansea is a sensible and honest man. He wouldn't have refused your friend's care at Pembroke.
It's easy for you to say, Doctor. These people cannot go to the police, nor to the hospital. They don't even speak English. They depend on me for everything.
Right, she's making somewhat of a solid case so far.
So, the end justifies the means. Is that your defense?
I know you're kind, Doctor. Just another fine-heeled, silver-spooned gentleman who was given the world on a platter. You know nothing of poverty. Nothing of the shame, the hunger, the loneliness.
I wouldn't be so sure about that. But yeah, it looks a lot like we can't even sight with this lady and we're being funneled into...
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
Nah, I don't think I want to go that far. I mean, I've been pillaging the hospital left and right myself. So, I'll look away, but you resign. Definitely don't want to go for the bottom option. So I'm wondering what the outcome, the difference in outcome is between these two. I will look away, but you resign. You will forget all about this. Well, the hospital is short-staffed enough as it is, not to mention this particular place. Yeah, she's probably gonna hold a grudge against me, but how about we have her resign from the hospital and have her keep on doing what it is that she does here?
No. Your place is here. Jailing you would be an even greater crime.
Yeah, my thoughts exactly.
So, here is my proposition. I'll look the other way on your little enterprise. In exchange, you will resign from the Pembroke Hospital and provide me with medical supplies when the need arises.
Dr. Reed! That sounds like a business proposition. My accomplice, then?
No, just a privileged client. My research may require the occasional rare piece of equipment or ingredient. I'll pay good coin in exchange, fair and honest, to help finance your noble endeavors.
Sounds like a win-win to me.
We have ourselves a deal, Doctor. Good customers are always welcome.
Yes, Nurse Crane. We have a deal.
Right on. What's this then? Mesmerized level. New citizens available to kill. The district will soon suffer the consequences of your action. What consequence is that exactly? Thought I was doing right by the Whitechapel district. Here? So what about our mesmerized level, exactly? Did that just go up, or...? Ah, right, yeah. So, Boomer, how are you liking Outlast so far, man? I'm kind of on the fence on what I want to play next, or even in between Vampyr sessions. Gotta say, Outlast is pretty high up on my list at the mo. So, recommend yay or nay? Alright, report to Lady Ashbury. Help Dorothy Crane. Why is that crossed out? That sounded like I was helping her plenty. Right, so where on the map is she? Back at the hospital, makes sense. If there is a fast travel point system, either I haven't unearthed it yet, or I must have missed a hint or instruction somewhere. So before we go back to the hospital, let's maybe give that side quest another try. Oh no, dude, that must have been a total misunderstanding there. It's like it's been high up on my radar. I played maybe like the first 30 minutes of it or so. But I appreciate you leaving Outlast 2 to me, but it still seems kind of bullshit for me to not play the first before going on to the second one. But yeah, thanks for the recommendation, either way. So, how's life been now that you're a hoity-toity affiliate and all? What the... Christ, give me a second.
This one stinks already. It's one of the...
Right, there goes my sneak attempt. Alright, so that may have gone relatively well, all things considered. Ooh, damn, there's another one. Let me try and sneak up on this one at least. Unless his buddies spot me. Buddies! Spot me first. God damn it. Give me a second here, Boom. Be right with you. Fuck's sake. Alright, so maybe I need to enlarge my chat overlay a little bit because I didn't catch all of that message. But, sorry to hear about your back, man. I know what that's like, believe it or not. Hashtag scoliosis. But Death Stranding, yeah, it's like... It intrigues me because of all of the hype, so I'm trying to stay away from too much spoilers and footage beforehand. Funny thing is, I don't own a console of any kind, so I won't be able to play it for myself anyway. But yeah, I'll be sure and check around when you give me a heads up when you do get around to that. So where were we? So if I'm not mistaken, that's a Hideo Kojima game, right? The Metal Gear Solid guy, I believe. This is like the project he did with Guillermo del Toro instead of Silent Hills PT. Because, I mean, those credentials in and of themselves should be reason enough to check it out. Yeah, I thought so. Just from the first trailer with Mads Mikkelsen, I could already tell it was just gonna be weird and out there and convoluted as fuck in true Metal Gear tradition. I hope it's gonna feature less nanobots though, but maybe that's just me. It's like every now and then my guy just freezes up and I'm not even trying to dodge or anything, like that right there. Ah, cornered myself there. Damn it. Ah, don't you dare. Don't you fucking dare, game. So yeah, from a distance, combat may seem a bit Assassin's Creed-ish, what with you having to prioritize which guy to attack in what order and whatnot, but I've said it before and I'll say it again, it just feels clunky because I can't think of a better word for it, really. Don't suppose I could slash my way through here, now could I? Ah. Small favors, huh? God damn it, another one of these things. So not in the mood. I gotta say, I'm just a little bit bumped out about the lack of an original angle where the vampiric condition, so to speak, is concerned. I mean, it's like everything you grew up with, Bram Stoker, all of it applies. There's even garlic, for God's sake. The only thing I think they haven't mentioned so far is religious iconography, like crucifixes being a ward or what have you. But I just feel like they could have shook it up a little bit. Shaken, shook. Rustled then Jimmy's. Can you do any huge leaps or jumps? Well, sir, thank you for asking. Like so. And mind you, the game is very specific about reinforcing how it's not.
This could be the box Lewis thought he lost. There's a letter inside.
Yeah, so the game really goes out of its way to emphasize that it's not teleportation, just supernatural speed. Just so you know, I guess. So, about this letter, then. Nah, hang on. These are like collectibles and lore and what have you. I'm looking at something quest-related here, I feel. Which is where, again. Fireman's Son. No. We already covered all of these. Readables. There we are. A small box containing a few trinkets and a letter. Barrett. There is no easy way to say it, so I'm gonna have to be blunt. We can't keep on like this. At least, I can't keep on like this. If Joe ever finds out about us, about his wife and his best friend, it will crush him. And then, he will kill you. We had some good time together, but let's face it, I'm never going to be your Jane Lewis. You know it, and I know it too. So, I'm ending this. Right here and right now. If you agree with my decision, I'm sure we'll find a way to be happy again. You, Joe, and me in time. And then the most important part of our story will have been preserved. Until that day, I wish you'd forgive me. Goodbye for now. Jane Peterson. So, you know, all generational differences aside and what have you, I'd say this is like a fuck side more elegant and eloquent. Not like a Snapchat or a... whatever it is you kids do nowadays.
A letter from Joe Peterson's wife addressed to Barrett Lewis.
Right, so... choose what to do with the box. Give the box and the letter to Barrett Lewis or Joe Peterson. Well, you know what? Just by the grace of Joe Peterson being a massive dickhead, I'm tempted to start with Barrett, who seems to be an okay bloke so far. But maybe let's, yeah, just to be on the safe side, let's go ahead and check out the social hierarchy, business, whatever you might want to call it. So, Joe's extortions put Barrett Lewis in a tough financial situation. Joe and Barrett Lewis used to be good friends, and this is all before finding out what we just uncovered, even. Meanwhile, Barrett is in a tough financial situation because of Joe's extortions. Used to be good friends. Barrett had an affair with Joe Peterson's wife. Now, before I go ahead and make any rash decisions, let's see what their side quests or citizen investigations, I guess they're officially called. Let's see what this is all about. Barrett Lewis, the bitter street merchant of Whitechapel, told me some frenzied inhabitants in some old condemned workshops attacked him while he was looting the place for trinkets and tools. He had to drop his package to escape the assault and would like to retrieve the box. Maybe I should go and see for myself what is going on in those abandoned buildings. Makes sense now. Now I know what the guy's got writing on this thing. Now I do hope that doesn't mean I have to backtrack, go back the way I came, and then for all these fuckers to respawn. But then again, it's starting to look a lot like I was going in the wrong direction in the first place. Well, wrong-ish, as in not on the way to the hospital, but you know what I'm getting at. Don't be weird. Anyway, God damn it, wrong button. So I just injected myself with a serum that I did not particularly need. And also cannot manufacture a gun until I find a hideout and or workbench. Must make a mental note. So I'm thinking head back down, avoid the werewolf guy downstairs, and she'll be right. So yeah, Boomer, if you're still watching, dude, you're a bit less stringent with the type of stuff you play, right? It's a bit of everything, on and off. Am I right? You're not so much about a genre-based brand as I am. I guess that's what I'm trying to ask. Am I right? Yeah. So. What just occurred to me thinking about just talking about vampire stereotypes and what have you. If you've never played The Legacy of Kain, get on that. In my book, best story in any video game franchise ever. So the first game was like really old school, like 20-ish years old, PlayStation 1 era. Looks like a bunch of Lego right now. Couldn't get into it myself. So that'll be Blood Omen 1. Blood Omen 2 is a bit rubbish as well. But if there's HD remasters for all of them out there, which you definitely want to check out at some point, is Soul Reaver 2, and then Defiance. Blew my goddamn mind. Even with them being remastered, I can't imagine they'd be all that easy on the eyes by now, but still, just the dialogue and the world building and this time travel when just, right up my alley. You know what's less up my alley? I was gonna say not being able to zoom in, but I stand corrected. Alright, so let's get this out of the way.
This one's mine! Cross the leads, boys! Double head!
Ah, God damn it. Let me heal in peace. Oh, close call that. Gotta say, I've been talking shit about combat in this game a lot, but I do like the touch of quote-unquote realism there. Like, one guy putting up a smoke screen, one keeping his distance with a firearm, one just bobbing and weaving with his machete, or what have you. I guess that's a nice little in-universe touch there. Now, what was I saying about serums? So, G to regenerate health points instantly, but alas, no more blood serum left. So right now, I'm kind of leaning towards, you know, if and when permitted, to invest a bit more points in the maximum serum capacity. More so than health and endurance anyway. Not that I'm feeling entirely comfortable in that area, but... There's Joe. You know what? Just for shits and giggles, without giving too much away about Barrett, there's both of them.
You again?
Let's see what dialogue options
What
we've
do you
got
want me to
going
tell
now. Alright. So with the exception of the contents of the box, nothing new since I last talked to him. I'm gonna go ahead and assume
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
the same is true for Barrett.
Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid.
Alright, yeah, time to make a decision already, because this icon is all about the optional side quest, citizen investigation, whatever I should be calling it. So, yeah. Barrett it is.
Cheap price, good quality. Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid. Fancy buying something, sir?
You never lose your focus, do you? Right then. Show me what
Actually,
you have.
I just might be in the market, come to think of it. Yeah, once again, kind of a bit bummed out about the game only listing required ingredients when I'm near a workbench. So I'm not sure what I want to buy from this guy at the present
Fancy
moment.
buying something, sir?
You never lose your focus, do you? I found this box in an abandoned building nearby. I believe it belongs to you.
Let's have a look. Yeah, this is mine. So, you faced those loons that roam around there. Extraordinary.
I suppose I was lucky.
Luck is a commodity round here. Yours should be properly rewarded.
About this package, it's not just tools and trinkets, is it?
Don't want to be rude or anything after your kind gesture, but it's none of your business.
Bit late with that, aren't you, mate? But hey, yeah, we healed him
Goodbye
already.
for now, Mr. Lewis.
So I simply refuse to believe that we are to manually make our way down to the hospital all over again. But like I said, I haven't picked up on any fast travel options so far, which is a bit of a bummer. But at least there's not one, not two, but three hideouts along the way. So that should come in handy. Right, so that's a sharp left. But yeah, no, Boomer, once again, if you're a fan of good voice acting, solid storytelling, an overdose of gothic aesthetics and vibe, once again, Soul Reaver 1 and 2, and then Legacy of Kain, Defiance. Who knows, you might even snag up some viewers who are into that whole nostalgic thing. I mean, I've been in a position where people recommend me certain games and I just could not get past how outdated the graphics were. Like the first Deus Ex, for example. could not get into that anymore. At all. Retroactively. But this stuff, yeah, you should really give it a shot, mate. Right, all stocked up on ammo from the looks of it. God damn, enemies in my own hideout, fancy that. Ah, goddamn, looks like I'm not quite done with the first guy yet, after all. Oh, dude, seriously now. A heating pad even. I mean, I thought I had it bad, but I've never been in that situation. I was gonna say my condolences. That might be a bit early, but sympathies, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Because god damn it, man. Right, some more reading material then. Whoopie-doo. Because we haven't had that in a while now, have we? Let me take a wild guess here, knowing where you're from. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much football would be involved? Or am I stereotyping here? Meanwhile, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of rhyme or reason to the way these quest items are archived. Is there like a chronological thing going on? Yeah, no, my bad. It is a chronological thing going on. I'm just looking in the right place. Origin. God damn it. I can't play a game and hold a conversation at the same time for the life of me, but this looks new. I'm gonna go ahead and go with this one. Blood as addiction. Vampires drink blood. This may be their most specific trait, the sinister peculiarity of their condition, if I may say so. But for me, this is not the most important characteristic of their diet. What has always fascinated me, since I started to study them, is the imperative need for blood they seem to endure. They want it more than anything, and this desire can drive them to expose themselves. And when they drink it, they seem to feel some sort of short trance, an ecstatic epiphany, said to me once a Volkard I interviewed in Moscow. I'm convinced that this is an essential element to understand the nature and condition of the vampires. They don't drink blood because it sustains them, but that it offers them ecstasy. Vampires are addicted to blood, all of them. It is part of their nature, and those among the immortals who refuse to submit to their appetite by the strength of their will only are never freed from this addiction. From Unveiling the Night by Usher Tawtry, Primate of St. Paul. Now, as far as I know, a primate is a kind of ape. If there's any like a religious connotation or analog to it, please do edify me. But, god damn it, Boom. I know exactly what you mean. It's like everything they warned you about, but it's like, I'm in my 20s, what could go wrong? Fuck it. And then all of a sudden, it does come back to bite you in the ass. Right, so where are we with serums and cures? I don't want to say citizens be damned, but I do actually want to have one of these blood serums on hand. Actually, make that two, more so than anything else. So it's clove essence, potassium permanganate, I'm guessing. Fuck it. Protopermi, that I'm after. I should really make notes, because I still haven't figured out how to get an overview like this whenever I'm conversing with merchants. It's just that I can't be bothered at this particular time. So what was I saying about upgrades? Some more serums, please, por favor. So that leaves us with 2000 XP rounded off to spend. What's this ultimate business about then? Never mind, because apparently all of that is locked until level 10, so I'm not even gonna bother reading all that. There's that invisibility thing again that I mentioned last night. Still a bit too advanced for my stupid ass. Spring doesn't seem to be as useful as I would have liked from the sound of it so far. I mean, it's only 20 damage when I land on a guy, so I guess I could do with an upgrade in autophagy. Looks a bit expensive point-wise though. What else is there? Coagulation. You will block your target's blood in their veins, making them defenseless. Sounds pretty nifty. The vampire will concentrate on the prey's blood, stopping them in their tracks and making them defenseless. It's easier to kill something that can't move. Sounds good on paper. 600 points. You know what? I'm gonna try this out on one of those big burly shotgun-ish looking guys. So I don't think there's anything we can afford below 500 points, so let's round that up to say 1,000. And then what have we got? Increased blood capacity. Well, my main problem seems to be from farming blood in the first place. Only 300 points for 40% more blood. Yes, please. And then another stamina upgrade, I'm thinking. Because these claws seem to be doing a decent amount of damage as it is. So I'm gonna be investing in my dodging ability more than anything else. So 500 points left. I'm fairly certain we can't afford anything extra for just that at the time. Except, you know what, Shadowville, let's go ahead and do that. Let's just get the foundations out of the way. The shadows help hide the vampire, turning them invisible to the uninitiated. In return, it drains the vampire's stamina if they move. Once a vampire's stamina is empty, they will become visible again. A useful tip, rookie. If you think you see something moving, shoot. Shoot? Shoot what? Just shoot. A buzz fly? Come again? You're gonna have to clarify Clarify that a bit for me, dude. So meanwhile, confirm another night's passed and all my influence in the given district's social circle tallies up. And I'm smacked on the nose with a rolled up newspaper out of nowhere. Futile police raids in Whitechapel. As of late, the rumors that surround Whitechapel are ripening into facts. In the last 3 months, the police have suspected the district of hosting what might be the heart of London's medicinal black market. What's buzzing loud? Is there something going on my end, dude? Because I can't tell. I genuinely have no idea. Could be the rain in the background. I like to think that's somewhat appropriate, but give me like 5 seconds and I'll try to sort that out. Hang on. Alright, hey Dia, thanks for throwing in the fly bunny even. Let's not go with that. That sounds like a horror movie in and of itself. I just closed my the doors to my yard to block out the rain. I was not expecting my shit mic to pick up on any of that, but yeah, Dia, I'm not gonna lie, I am kind of out of my element, but then again, when am I not? So if we're all in agreement about my sound quality being on the up and up, let me have another look at this newspaper article. So yeah, from the top, as of late, the rumors that surround Whitechapel are ripening into facts. In the last 3 months, the police have suspected the district of hosting what might be the heart of London's medicinal black market. But of course, these suspicions will remain assumptions, for no task force or additional police presence has been sent to Whitechapel. No large drug stocks have been found, nor no crime lords arrested. This masquerade has only been planned as a desperate attempt to conceal the blatant incompetence of the London City Council's Board of Health by giving the populace a cheap and easy victory, while the epidemic spreads more and more each day. Christ, I'm not quite sure there was enough commas in that one sentence. But I digress. Worst of all, when you take time to review the most recent statistics, you discover that the district of Whitechapel is coping with the disease much better than other parts of the city. Is it a miracle? Evidence of the activity of an illegal but efficient medical underground? More proof of the authorities' criminal incompetence? All I know is this. If a Londoner has a better chance to survive the epidemic by choosing to live in this godforsaken borough, I'm ready to move to any cheap flea-infested flat some shady landlord will agree to rent me right now. SLA. Yeah, no, Boomer, no worries. I'm pretty sure that was Dia being sarcastic and taking the piss out of me once again. Which is fine, you know, gonna lighten the mood a little every now and then. When dealing with games of this kind. So it looks like the game has like a quite elegant, if a bit long-winded, way of wrapping up and reflecting on your impact on a given borough and or city district whenever you end a night. So, yeah, no, I kind of like this approach. You know, really gives you a sense of making a difference in the in-game world. So meanwhile, who's worsening health-wise? Because apart from being a useful source of blood, if they just turn out to be massive dickheads, these people could all very well be good sources of information. So, migraine, 40% loss of blood quality. I haven't been keeping tabs, but 40% seems a bit on the high end. from what I've seen so far. Meanwhile, there's Harry, which I'm like 95% sure I gave a cure just last night. And apparently his anemia is getting the better of him still. Guess I should just throw a stake his way next time I'm around these parts. Loretta's Swambro. Nah, she's just got a neat little brooch thing going on there. That's not a yellowish disease icon. So who else have I been neglecting? Dyson Delaney. Pretty sure that's the local drunk from the docks. Not to discredit him or anything. A man's gotta have a hobby. I'm just saying. It's been a while. That's Clay. Looking a bit worse for wear. And Oswald at a somewhat happy-ish medium of 30%. Wait, nope. Didn't want to do that just yet. Now I'm gonna go and head back inside. Because one thing that I've noticed that does not make any sense in universe whatsoever, but still works to my advantage, is that you go to sleep in a certain building and like loot containers tend to respawn overnight. But then again, I guess the same goes for enemies. I did upgrade my shit just now, so let's go ahead and see how well we fare. And there's that delay once again that I haven't figured out quite yet, but definitely something to be taken into account in any future fights. And now I'm starting to kind of doubt myself where those containers are mentioned are concerned. Let me go ahead and check downstairs just to make sure I'm not losing my shit here. Alright, so this is either an exemption to the rule or just a case of me having had one drink too many. Let's just leave that up to interpretation for now, shall we? So yeah, still no sign of any fast travel options just yet. So this may be quite the stroll we're looking at right here. No shortage of digbacks trying to pick a fight for no good reason, I'm sure. That's Joe. Fairly certain this is Harry's place. Let me go ahead and double check.
Good evening, Harry. May I come in?
Sure. Sure. Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
Right. Didn't actually mean to come in. But while we're here, might as well give the guy the medicine he needs. I'm sure it's gonna pay me back in karma somewhere down the road.
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
So, no new dialogue avenues. Actually,
Your father
I stand
and
corrected.
Mr. Lewis used to be good friends. What happened, Harry?
I was young then. I don't remember Mr. Lewis ever coming back again after my mother died. Or was it after my father started bullying him? I don't know.
Have you tried speaking to Mr. Lewis about it?
I don't go out often, but yes. And he scolded me and told me to leave him alone. I guess my father frightens him too much.
But you are not responsible for your father's actions.
Am I not? Dad always says that he joined that gang for my safety. So if I wasn't born, people wouldn't be worrying about Colossus Joe.
dude, ease up on yourself. That's some nihilistic, fatalist, determinist bullshit right there.
Do you remember when Barrett Lewis was close to your family? To your mother?
Not really. I was too young. But I remember it was a happier time. Mr. Lewis was funny. He often had dinner with us.
I'm not sure why I would want to open this can of worms in the first place, but in for a penny, in for a pound.
Why are you sad then?
Because it hurts to remember a time when my father used to laugh and smile. It hurts to realise he's as sad as me now.
How was he towards you?
He was nice, I guess. He never forgot my birthday. He always offered me books. I like books.
Well, small comfort to this guy, but looks like we sided with the right bloke after all.
Goodbye, young man. Take care of yourself.
Even my dreams are so...
Oh, hang on.
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Totally forgot to diagnose you, my dude. What with being enveloped in your family drama and all.
Do you need any medical help, young man?
Yes, I do. I feel so tired. I don't know if it's the epidemic, but everything seems so hard.
You'll feel better with this. But you need to get a grip, young man. Medication alone won't cure melancholia.
I'm not sure I'm happy with the idea of living long in a world like this. But I thank you for your concern, sir.
Yeah, man, just
Goodbye, young man. Take care of yourself.
like,
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
line up. You should stop listening to fucking The Cure or whatever it is you're into. Just kick back, put on a Black Sabbath record every now and then for a change, maybe. Ask Boomer.
Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
I'm sure he's got a solid recommendation or two for you. So, back to the task at hand. That's a sharp right. Bit too sharp, maybe, but I think I'm on the right track here. Hang on, is this not the dead end from where we met the flower lady? Yeah, see, I'm messing up again already.
Hello again, miss.
People are shit by Richard Cheese. Cannot say that rings a bell, but I'd be stoked to learn that that Slipknot song is actually a cover. I'm not sure why. I think I'm gonna get a response out of this lady this time, but...
Tell me about Richard Nethercott. I understand he is quite fond of you, Camellia.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
Hello, Camellia. How are you, partner? Come on, girl. Smile. Don't you know Dorothy and I have an agreement? We're on the same side. No? All right then, as you wish.
Right, I'm almost ready to give her the benefit of the doubt, because even if even vampiric mesmeration won't, you know, loosen her tongue a little bit, I'm inclined to either believe that her muteness is genuine, or there's some supernatural fuckery going on here.
Very well. Goodbye then.
Yeah, no, I'll be down if I'm gonna check out the same identical flower pot for the 6th time in a row. Ooh, shiny. The door has been unlocked. I should hope so. This is the way I came in the first place. No shiny? Too bad. Right, so my dildo sensors are tingling, which can only mean enemies coming up in 3, 2, 1.
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Alright, so maybe this time around it's just one big massive dildo instead of several smaller dildos.
Kill him, boy!
Nope. 2 giant dildos, in fact.
Burn it, boy!
I feel woefully unprepared for this. Stop doing that while I'm in the middle of healing, please. What in the actual... I did not see that coming. I tried my best to monitor my different gauges and what have you, but man...
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
God damn, I'm not quite sure I can muster the patience to go through all this, like... 5 times in a row.
Burn it, boys!
Now, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. Tikash, why don't you take care of the 2 softer lackeys first? But in the chaos of it all, it's easy to lose your sense of priority.
Crush the leech, boys!
Alright, create some distance maybe. Self-heal. Where did this guy come from all of a sudden? Or that guy for that matter? Alright, which one of you is Vincent? I'm guessing it's you. Right, big fucker's down. God fucking damn it. Just when I thought I was close to getting the upper hand here. It's almost like an Alanis Morissette song. Doesn't seem to be a way to bypass these fuckers either. Let me see if there's maybe like a
Human blood.
jumpany.
Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
The house of jumpany. A balcony? I can jump to. Actually, you know what? I may be onto something here. Because there's a hideout. No sense of saving just yet. But I'm pretty sure this is the way I came in originally. Now what have we here? Right, so this is just NPCs fighting amongst themselves. Do I genuinely want to be doing this right now? I don't think I do.
Die, vermin! Crush the leech, boys!
Right, so dodge, dodge, heal. Once again, I tend to totally forget about serums when I'm in the middle of combat.
Cross the leech, boys! Burn, burning! Die, burning!
My bad, that's not what I've been minded, guys. Always take care of the little dildos before you move on to the big dildos.
Die, burning!
Right, that's my insurance meter running out.
Cross the leech! Die, burning!
Okay, Tikash, don't screw up now. You're this close, my dude. Stake 1, stake 2, and bite.
Die, burning!
Right, so as long as the big dildos are alive, little dildos just keep spawning left and right. Good to know. God damn, that was close. But I think it's safe to say we all learned some valuable lessons along the way. And the real dildo was inside of us all along. Nope, wait, nope, nope. Scratch that. That is definitely the wrong summary. Alright everyone, quick bio break. Be back in a minute or two. Okay, so, in the words of the good Matthew McConaughey, alright. Now what was I doing? Oh yeah, Lady What's-Her-Face. Do I want to be risking this? Nah, you know what? Fuck it. Now, I was only prepared for the one guy. I may come to regret this after all. But hey, last time I checked, the game at least did me the courtesy of, remembering the outcome of a boss fight. So I'm not super worried at the moment. Only terribly worried. Wait, hang on. Back the fuck up. I am not liking the look of this at all. Why are we back in our hideout? Don't you fucking dare, game. Don't be putting this evil on me. Right, no, that's Dildo 1 and Dildo 2 taken care of. That's a small consolation right there. Maybe let's not go ahead and try that again. Focus on getting our ass back to the hospital in one piece for a change. Just to shake things up a little bit. Right, there's our shortcut to our hideout. Due to the influenza, this hospital can no longer take any patients. Hospital full. Please go back home. Let's see if we can maybe cure some more people and glean some information on our way to Lady Ashbury.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Ellen. As for me, what a blundering idiot.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Healthy. Okay, so no infectious long-term business going on. That's a reassurance.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and
to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter. And a good one, too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Right, I hope no one from Reddit is watching this right now, because I can already sense the joking coming.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable. And your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies.
Interesting choice of words there. Operate yourself. Sounds somewhat less than optimal.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Aykroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Fair point.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
I will not let you down, my boy.
I'll be sure to get back to this guy when we find like a splint of some kind.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
Right, just keep piling on that pressure, guy.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
Huh. New investigation unlocked, even.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him, or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Ooh. Ah. Tough one. This. Oh, you know what? Might as well.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Aykroyd's behavior, a man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Right on. This guy seems to be on the up and up.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Which reminds me, I seem to remember there being a massive dildo in our midst. As far as the hospital is concerned. What with the guy with his medical experiments at all. Well, maybe not experiments, but... Hang on, first things first, Dr. Thoreau Strickland is a young and daring physician who is fascinated by the science of medical advance. He is presently conducting some experiments on his own, but he is waiting for some products he recently ordered. He suspects the present shortage may have incited his supplier to sell the batch to a more eminent doctor than him. That's why he asked me to go there and use my reputation to obtain the needed supplies. This is the guy, Corcoran Tippets, aka Just the Tip, which I just made up. I have read the report of Dr. Tippets concerning the death of Samuel Connor. I'm not quite convinced right now. Perhaps I should conduct my own investigation to determine the patient's real cause of death. Huh. Kind of odd, considering we long left the location where we found Samuel Connor's body. I was under the impression that that was a fairly open and shut kind of case, but apparently the plot thickens once again. Don't you be walking away from me.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Whoop.
Pepper, are you sure you want to leave this hospital?
To become a nurse was a little girl's dream. But in the end, I don't feel that useful. I want more. I want to make things change.
But you're doing something important here. For all the patients who need your help.
We save lives, sure. Each time we send a cured patient home, it's a relief beyond words. But since the epidemic, I feel so powerless.
What steps are you prepared to take to feel more useful?
I don't know yet. My sister believes that the real fight is in the streets nowadays. Maybe she's right. Maybe this is what I must do.
If you feel that saving lives is not useful enough, perhaps it means that you've lost faith.
On the contrary, my faith has never been stronger. Maybe we are all just too proud to face up to the fact that science cannot compete with God.
No. See, personally, I'm not liking this particular avenue of conversation.
And what about Milton Hooks? Does he share your point of view?
For Milton, any change means more comfort and more peace. I disagree.
Like our guy said in the very first episode, if not the very first 20 minutes of the game, rational thoughts only. I'm gonna try and stick with that.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins. Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
Right, so underhanded Kansas references aside, how much do you want to bet that this woman is just strictly delusional and in fact not a vampire? Healthy in the physical sense of the word, at least.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
It's just a phase, girl, I'm sure. Cotard syndrome, that sounds familiar. What's that all about again?
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul.
Oh, right, yeah.
In your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
Now, as tragic as it is, that is actually an actual, real-life thing.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Alright, so my diagnosis for the foreseeable future as a layman, too many pen and paper role-playing games.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
No, it was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities. Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
How close are you to Miss Hallcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
Wait, you let her bite you? How is that even like a reasonable avenue of conversation? Like, where's the causation, correlation thingy going on here? No, I'm not gonna discourage. I'm not gonna encourage this guy.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Just fucking... When did all these people start listening to fucking Sisters of Mercy and Tiamat and The Cure and what fucking have you?
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of my blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Disgust on every street corner. The daily routine.
Seems like a bit of a Renfield analog going on there. If we're discussing classic vampire literature, which I'm fully aware we were not, but I just couldn't resist a little bit of name dropping there.
Hello again, Dr. Reed. I feel better already. Can I go soon?
Oh, fuck me, it's a member of the clergy. That's pretty much guaranteed to open up like 16 types of... Nah. No, I'm good. Nothing new since we last spoke to this
Goodbye,
guy.
Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
I need my medication.
I just figure with all the superstition and the lore and the...
No decency. All liars and thieves.
What's new with you, lady? No interaction button here. Oh, I am so sorely disappointed. Truly, I am.
Simpletons, these nurses. Bred with no respect.
Royal Garden Hill Hall. From the top. Royal Garden Hall Theatre. Clyde Fitch presents
Poached my blanket.
Doris Fletcher Sappho. What's a Sappho?
Liars and thieves, every last one
Is this typo negative girl again?
Good evening, Miss Howcroft.
Yeah, I'm afraid
How are
it
you
is.
tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities. Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Nah, nothing new to be had here either. Where was this Ashcroft woman again in the first place? See, between you and me, I was gonna go ahead and try and squeeze all kinds of side quests and lore and world building out of this hospital before settling matters with the good lady Ashcroft, but then again, I am merely just one mortal man, and I'm afraid I simply cannot spare the time tonight. So just to round things off, let's just cut right to the chase. And leave the other patients for next session, shall we? So, whose office is this again? Dr. Tippett, Strickland, and Aykroyd.
I cannot enter.
Yeah, probably because they want to stall the Dr. Tippett's confrontation for just a bit longer. But meanwhile, my memory being as objectively shit as it is, I'm kind of struggling to remember where we are, in fact, supposed to find Lady Ashbury. T. Elwood's medical file. If it's not in here, I guess it must be in here. Alright, gonna go ahead and wet my whistle. Patient Thomas Elwood, male, age 28. Followed by Dr. Tippett's status: convalescence, date of admission September 16th, date of release to be determined. Note: the patient's face has been heavily burned and disfigured by a bomb during the war. Even with the use of the strongest sedatives, he affirms to regularly endure severe pain from the wounds, as if the flames are still burning under the skin, he says. Examinations of the kick-a-pair. Fuck me, I'm gonna need some help with this. It's not cauterized. Cicatrized. I'm putting in genuine effort here, people. Please do help me out. Even if you're watching this in retrospect, I'm genuinely curious. What is this word? Tissues show no trace of inflammation, infection, or swelling. Scars are clean. Could it be a case of persisting nerve damage? The patient never ceases to blame himself for his disfiguration. Could it be a case of guilt of the survivor? Phantom pain manifesting as a punishment for not dying with his comrades? that's a shit hand to be dealt. Thomas feels responsible for his disfiguration during the war, and also Thomas sees Thelma Hallcroft as living proof that there is hope for him. Poor bastard. You know what, guys? I'm gonna have to go ahead and postpone that confrontation with Lady Ashcroft just a little bit further, because that's about all the time I have for tonight. So once again, thanks for watching and or checking in. Catch you next time, and also dildo.